Welcome to a brand new episode of A Bad Idea for Podcast. Today we have a true warrior in the world of American football, a man whose journey is nothing short of inspiring. He is the embodiment of dedication and resilience, and from rocky paths to championship glory. So, get ready. Please welcome the one and only the burning wonder, Simon Bohlmann.
What an introduction, man. Never had it like this, man. Crazy. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm great. Thanks. How are you?
All good, all good. It's like a real pleasure and real honor to have you finally on the podcast. Um, we know you from a couple years ago when you were like coaching with the Berlin Thunder, but now you are on a different and completely special role with the GFL Berlin Rebels. Okay, so I want to start with that. Like, can you tell us about your current role and what you're doing right now with the Berlin Rebels?
Yes. So, after my time with the Thunder, I actually transferred to the Rebels, and now I'm the head coach of the U20 team. The youth coordinator for the whole organization. I'm responsible for the whole player development throughout the youth programs, for school projects and everything surrounding. And I'm also a DB coach for the GFL team. So yeah, I'm blessed and honored to be, I think, one of not many full-time coaches in a youth level. What my main role is, coaching on a youth level.
I mean, you have your hands full right now, but how would you describe the identity of the team that you're trying to create? Because we know you as a person, and we know you as a player, and we know you as a coach, and you are 100% intensity. So, how would you describe the identity of the team you're going to build for this year?
Well, definitely all throughout the whole club, the whole environment, we want to create a championship mentality, winning mentality, and a program. Like for me, I always said for my youth players, my main goal is for each and every one of them to reach their full potential. When they reach the men's level, I want them to help them to reach their full potential, and that all doors in all directions are open for them. So, and I believe on the way we're going to be successful. So, and I want to build a lasting and dominant youth program and a football program over here in Berlin, uh, which will be successful and will produce a lot of good players that will make a name for themselves.
Everyone knows that you're born in Berlin and you developed your football career in Berlin and also your coaching career here in Berlin. Um, but for those who doesn't know much about you, like where did your football journey begin? How you been introduced to the game?
Well, it was 1992. Actually, I was 6 years old. I had a neighbor that played for the Adler back then, and they had the Berlin Derby from the Adler versus the Rebels back in the Radkernbahn, which is at S-Bahnhof Südkreuz. Now the stadium doesn't exist no more. And actually, our special teams coordinator and running back coach now for the men's team, Cliff Madison, was the quarterback for the Adler back then. And that was basically the game where I first saw football and knew, shit, that's what I want to do. And ever since, I was stuck in that. And I had actually a talk with Coach Cliff a couple of days ago about it. I said, man, you were the guy I saw playing for the first time in my life. It's crazy.
Can you recall what do you do after you get home after the game? Like when you say like, okay, should I want to do that? When
Yeah,
you come
I was
home,
in my parents' ears. I was in my parents' ears, and they had to find a team somewhere close to us, and brought me to practice. And then actually the thing was over here, you wasn't allowed to play until you were like 9 years old, and I was 6. So I had to go to a doctor every year to get a special permission to be able to play with the kids. So yeah,
okay,
but there was
wow.
no other option for me.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Do you
Yeah.
remember your first practice?
Yeah, I remember. I was fairly small compared to the other kids. I even remember which field it was, and yeah, it was. But still, I mean, like the whole thing when you come in there, and even though I was like 3 years younger than everybody else, they included me. They included me. That team spirit, that family in football. That was ever since that. Yeah, that's. I think that was one of the main reasons I stuck with it.
I also heard like you have like this cool story with the Berlin Thunder, but during the NFL Europe days. Can you like
Yeah,
explain a little bit more about it?
yeah, it was back when the NFL Europe was here. We had the Thunder, and I was in the youth, and they always were looking for helpers for game days, for water boys, for ball boys, cable guys. Like back then with the headsets weren't wireless. They had cables with it. They were running through the whole team zone, and they always each coach had a cable boy behind them that had to roll up the cable and roll it out so the coach doesn't stumble or anybody else stumble over the cable, but he can always move. And yeah, basically that was my first job with the Thunder was being a cable guy. I was behind the coach, and yeah,
Okay,
it was a great experience. I had the opportunity to be in a coaching zone. I was as close to the field as anybody.
you have the best seat on the stadium for sure.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And then through the school I went to an American school here in Berlin when I was young. So I was fairly good at English. And then at some point I had a shot to be a booth spotter at with the podcasters at Fox. So I was able to sit in the box with them for I think 2 games. That was pretty cool.
Wow, wow. I mean, as a kid, I can imagine that was like a dream job for sure, right? But
That was crazy. I was sitting next to freaking Troy Aikman and I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize who I was sitting next to.
and you were like, so okay, so you play quarterback? Yeah, I mean, probably
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see you on
yeah.
TV.
He asked me like, "Oh, what position you play? What are you doing?" About yeah, it was like I think I was like what? I was 13, maybe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And like from those days, you have or can you recall or remember any unforgettable story that maybe from a player or coach who inspired you at that time?
I mean, like the whole thing was inspiration. The whole thing. I mean, like I got with my brother, I got busted skipping school because we went to a thunder practice. So, um, yeah, the whole thing was it all was infecting for me and everybody. So, and even I even now have contact with like Toko Pfeifenberger, who was a player back then. I'm still in contact with him. Some of my players right now are working out with him. He's their personal trainer. So there's still a connection, and still like football is I always say football in Europe is a village. Everybody knows everybody at some point. So
That's true. That's true. And now, coach, I want to go back a little bit with your coaching career right now, because we want to know, like, what's your coaching philosophy right now? How do you develop not just good players but good people? Because you mentioned it at the beginning.
well, yeah, I mean like the what I offer the guys right now, what I did in the off season, offered a all out program which included track, so running school, how you have to move, how you sprint, the whole basics, the whole techniques. We had lifting sessions where it was about okay, how you really lift, how you are supposed to lift in for becoming a athlete. It's we had hill runs, we had football practices, so we had 6 days a week. I offered practices for them to make them all around athletes. So it's and yes, surely we controlled the workload so that they're not completely exhausted. But we offered stuff 6 days a week to make them the best athletes. And yeah, and I mean, like my philosophy is, I ask a lot for of them, but I also give a lot. I believe to my players. So I'm always there for my players. They can call me whenever, and I always try to have an open ear and try to go into whatever each individual needs and try to make the best that it fits for the whole team. um, I think our numbers are pretty good right now. I have like 50 players and consistent at practice. I got a coaching staff of 8 plus me. We got staff and all that. So I think we were providing for them to just that they can just focus on football. We have gyms where the guys can go. We have a physio at practice from back in the Thunder days. Niklas, he's my physio. He's at every practice. We have staff members. I have an equipment guy there, so they're taken care of. And that's, yeah. So we try to build it as professional as possible. And I believe over here, it's a lot about effort and what you are willing to put in.
Okay.
So the more you're willing to put in, the more the guys get out of it too.
Okay. Now, probably this question is going to be a little bit selfish, what I'm going to ask, but for you as a coach, what's your main goal? To place a player in the NFL, to place a player in the CFL, in the ELF, or just to create this person or this player with such character that succeed in life no matter what he's doing?
Well, I think that my main goal is that people realize when the guys went through our practices through our youth, that they come out of it, that they realize and see, oh shit, that's an overall good athlete. That kid, if it that it's that is it will become something. Being a former Berlin Rebel youth player, you know what I'm saying, if that it stands for quality. I think that's the main goal. And as I said in the beginning, my goal for each and every individual is for them to reach their goals, and that's totally different. I mean, like it's 50 people like on the youth level. Some of them have potential and want to go to college, have big goals, big dreams. But I have other ones that say, hey, yeah, I mean, I'm a good athlete, but I don't want to go to the States to college. I have other plans with my life, but I still want to play football. And you have to, that's a totally different approach. So at the end of the day, my goal is for them to provide them the best physical education, so to speak, to become the best athlete they want to be and to reach their personal goal.
Okay. Okay, that's amazing. And now, I mean, I asked you those questions because I wanted to prepare you for this one. Because how did your personal experience shape the way you coach today?
Oh, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So, I mean, like at the end of the day, you in throughout a career, you always realize it's about how you handle adversity. It's always about how you come back from setbacks because there will always be setbacks. It's always about how you handle it and how you can get back up to it. And that was the time when I was playing helped me a lot, to be honest. Like the time we had, what we built over there when I was in Braunschweig, we had a couple of years when I went there, where we were, we were trash, sorry to say, but we weren't good at all. And there was a year when we were so lucky that we didn't went down to second league. But so yeah, and then at 13, things started clicking for us, and that's about because we never gave up. We just came together, and it's a internal thing. And I know from that time, I know it's not. It is never about the coaches. It's never about the coaches that you put, but it's about the combination. It's about the coaches and the players that are willing to follow and willing to put the work in.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a combination of both. Yeah,
Right.
because you have the same amount of responsibility in everything. Now, when you look at your players right now, and there's any way that you can see yourself in any of them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, those kids are hungry. Those kids are really really hungry. They are adapting. They want it bad. They want it bad. So they are starting to take over, and I believe this year and next year, this team will be scary to some people. So the guys will be they start to develop a mindset and the relentlessness in practice. That's what you wish for, actually. So yeah.
For example, like I heard that when you joined the Braunschweig's New York Lions, you had to crash on different couches. That's true, right?
Right. Yeah. When I went there in 2009 for the first time, had still had an apartment here in Berlin. Went back and forth for a couple of months, then ended up getting a job in Braunschweig, but no room. So I was basically couch hopping on the couches of the cribs Braunschweig had, and where the imports and people from other places slept. And yeah, I had to fight my way through. We had basically, when I went there in 09, they had their first Eurobowl camp in, I think it was Madrid or Milan. I was nominated. So I was sitting there all by myself and had to make a decision for myself if I still want to fight through, or if I say, okay, man, I'll go back to Berlin and just do my thing there. But no, I was never a guy that gave up. So in my eyes was I have to show him, I have to fight through, I have to prove myself for everybody else, and yeah, I mean, like, it ended up pretty good. So yeah.
Okay, and now, like reflecting on those times in that period, like, do you ever think about giving up during that time, or there was like someone in particular that say, Simon, you need to keep it up?
Well, to be honest, at that time it was me versus myself.
Okay.
So it was me versus myself, and was like, shit, what do I want? And I actually I wanted this. I wanted to be there, and I said to myself, hey, you made the decision that you want to be there, that you want to do this, so you can't give up because of an obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's like really inspiring, to be honest. I even got chills. But now it's like everyone said, or at least in Mexico, we said that no one's prophet in their own land, right?
Yep.
Now, for you, when you have like so much success in Braunschweig with the New Yorker Lions, for you, what was the turning point when things start to change for you, like for good?
I mean, like, the things that changed for us back then, to be honest, it was a couple of things. It was coaching that changed in 13. It was Troy Tomlin, Dave Likens that came to coach us and brought like a new mentality, a new philosophy. That a lot of my stuff comes from them. So I was branded a lot from those guys. We had Jürgen Wendland there, who was actually a player who played for Liberty State, then came to us, started working in the management, started to convince them, okay, we need this, we need that in order to be successful. Like, we have to focus on some things that they lost the focus on in order to be successful, and then we brought those things back. And I mean, like, and it also was an internal thing. The guys that were there said, okay, shit, we have to lock in. We have to work for this stuff. Back then, a lot of people said, yeah, you had all those great players. Yes, we had, but we were working our asses off. Believe me, Coach Tomlin, Coach Likens, they demand a lot of you guys. Even especially when they bring you in, especially when they give you anything, you have to give something back. It's yeah. So we had the luck with that sponsor back then that there was a lot of possibilities, yes, but it also was the work that the people put in, and and that's the mindset that I have ever since.
Okay, and now, like, I want to know for you, like, what does football means to you beyond the game itself?
Shit, football is actually everything. Everything's football. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, football is my escape place. Football is everything. Football is the place where everything else around me doesn't matter. So, yeah, it's yeah. I mean,
Because
like, I do it 24/7.
yeah, true. Because I wanted to know, because I always wonder, what if football coaches decided to do something different? For example, being a dentist. Can do you think that you can have the same intensity, the same passion if you're a dentist? Can you imagine yourself doing that?
No, I can't imagine, because like I already told people, like, ever since I was 6 years old, I never had a year without football.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how it is to have completely free summers. I don't know. It's like
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know what to do with my time. It's like, hey, right now we only had some meetings because the fields are frozen right now here. I was like, gee, what am I supposed to do with all that time?
Yeah,
We have to do even
true.
more, but we have to do practice. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that feeling because when I was playing American football in Mexico, also back in the '90s, it was funny because like all my friends in school, they said like, oh, what do you do for summer? I was like, I was training, and I had games, and I had like a completely season. Like, also you don't have vacations? Like, can we?
Yeah, if there's a break somewhere, maybe.
Yeah,
I have to check the schedule first.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Now,
yeah.
coach, you as a coach, how do you channel the intensity that you have as a person to motivate your players? Because now we have like the generations are completely different. The game itself is completely different. So how you manage yourself to motivate your players?
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of. I believe that the players have to have a lot of internal motivation, but also, I mean, like, I believe that I lead by example. I bring the passion, I bring the energy to the table every time. And yeah, honestly, I never really thought about this one. So it's just like I just everything I say or every speech that I have to the guys, it is never really planned. It always comes from heart.
Okay.
So and I think that's a lot of how you catch the guys. If they see and if they believe that it's not something you just say just to say it because you think okay that's the right thing to say it now, but that you really believe in what you say and believe in what you do, I think they will follow, and I think that will motivate a lot of people.
Okay. Yeah, true. Believing in what you're hearing and believing what you want to do is, yeah, actually the right
And
approach.
a lot is not only saying what you want to do or just doing it.
Yeah,
You
walk the
know,
walk
like
and talk the
walk the
talk.
walk, even if
Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, like even if you face some obstacles, just should keep on pushing. I
yeah,
mean, no is just a freaking answer.
yeah. True. That's true. That's true. That's true. I mean,
Then I have to find another way.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I appreciate about American football. You know, like the passion, the intensity, but also the resilience that you learn since a young age,
Yeah.
right?
And football is a lot of life lessons. I mean,
Yeah,
like rising up again after beatdowns. I mean, like you will have losses. There will always be someone maybe that will dominate you. You will have bad plays, but it's about how you rise back up on the next play.
yeah. That's
Like
true.
you can never stay down. If you stay down, you're already beat. And if you get back up, there's always a chance that you can win that. So I think
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now, if you could go back on time and give advice to younger Simon Bohlmann, just starting football in 1992, Simon from 2025, what would you say?
Focus more on the technique. Not a, yeah, I mean, like I had to stop my career because I had a neck injury, and I believe it came throughout having bad technique in the past because like back in the '90s, mid '90s, late '90s, there wasn't really like they said if shit they never nobody ever talked about not using your head as a weapon, and I mean like yeah, I'm, nowadays I would say hey. Don't use your freaking head as a weapon. Put your fucking head in the back. Like,
True,
don't use
true.
your head. Keep your head out of that contact. But
Yeah,
yeah.
true, true.
But besides that, yeah. Besides that, another thing I want to say keep pushing more, even harder. I mean, like that was the time when the NFL Europe. I came out of the youth in '05, then '07, the NFL Europe folded back then. And back then in '05, it was my dream to maybe make it there somehow, some way, someday. And then that was gone. And then I had a really like a year where I was like, oh, okay, what are we doing now? What is the goal? So yeah, and I would have said to myself, don't lose that year, keep pushing.
Okay, now we're almost done with the podcast because I mean this is I mean we can do this forever because it's like it's amazing. Because I mean also I remember like as a kid, I don't know if you have it or not here in Germany, but in Mexico we used to have one drill called Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and it was one of the most insane exercises that I ever been through in American football because it was like I don't know, like 20 players like sit down or lay down on the floor like on a circle, and then it's like number one and then number 15, and then you need to like get up and then just try to
Oh,
tackle
that's a
each other.
mixture of Oklahoma and Bull in the Ring. That's what it sounds like.
It was like that. It was like freaking insane, and
Yeah.
it was 1994, 1995 was
Yeah,
insane.
I did that stuff where I was against defensive linemen as a I don't know as a kid. We're laying on our back head to head on the whistle, get up and just
Yeah,
smacking into each other like for no freaking reason when you think about it.
yeah. That's true.
Like the
That's
only
true.
thing is, yeah, okay, now I will. I don't have the fear of running through things anymore. But is it that good? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Now, like speaking of that, like that type of exercise, which was like a quick fire. Now we're gonna do like quick fire word game.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say a word, and then you just need to find out the first thing that comes to your mind. And okay, don't overthinking. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Football,
Everything.
passion,
Football.
Berlin Rebels,
A lot of potential, and we'll have a bright future ahead.
okay, intensity,
Always bring it.
okay, family,
Family has to be in the back, holding your back. Always keep it safe, keep it close.
championship,
Championship. That feeling is what you're chasing. That's that feeling. Everybody that ever won a championship, that feeling after you won your first championship. That is what you do, what you're chasing, and
yeah,
the whole journey there, going there is the fucking dream. So
true, true,
yeah,
failure,
failure, part of the process.
okay, pain,
Pain, shit, just in your head.
okay, coaching,
Passion, like my shit, that coaching is seeing those guys developing. I think it's either like is it coaching, but like to help the guys develop, to see them develop is something that's bright in your soul. I mean, like you can see if you see that those guys develop over time and like make the next steps, and all of a sudden it starts clicking and starts things start to work their way, and then they get elected to national teams or get college invites and stuff. It's great. It's great to
okay.
see.
Now Germany,
Germany cold right now, cold,
that's
but
true.
has to use more of the potential that is here in order to make football even bigger. I mean, like there's a big market, big interest. There's a lot of great athletes, a lot of great players over here in Germany, and we have to take advantage of them in order to make Germany a bigger number than there already are in football in Europe.
Okay, inspiration,
Inspiration, my kids.
okay,
My two daughters, seeing my two daughters play basketball and seeing the passion they put in. I mean, that's always inspiration.
okay. Now legacy,
Legacy, shit, we're building one right now.
okay, and finally dreams.
Dreams, dreams are plans that you put in. Like dreams become plans, and you can put every dream into reality if you really believe in it. I truly believe that, and I mean, like, yeah, right now we're working on fulfilling a dream or I'm working on fulfilling a dream or a vision that I have with this team, this program, and I think we're on a good path. And yeah, wish us best of luck.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, we're looking down for there. Now, football is my
Yeah, football is my safe place. Football is my passion. It's actually, like I already said a couple of times. It's a lot of stuff for me. Like football is the thing that always was there. Like I said, I never had since I was 6 years old. I never had a season that had a year with no season. So football was always there. Like it was always the safe place.
okay. And finally, I mean, you know, the name of the podcast itself is a bad idea of a podcast, right?
Yeah, a bad idea. Shit.
Now you
Yeah,
need to share your bad idea.
yeah. I mean, like before I came back to Berlin and joined the Thunder. I mean, I had a full time job with the main sponsor in Braunschweig. I'm
Okay.
a single dad. And I just quit my job because I felt like I don't want to do that shit no more, and that's not me. And I think that was actually a bad idea to just do that without having a job, but
Yeah.
it ended up just right. I ended up finding something in Berlin, ended up coaching with the Thunder, made some good connections, um, had a lot of fun coaching again, and now found my way into earning my money with coaching. I mean, so that was actually a bad idea that turned out pretty damn good.
Yeah. True. So far, so good. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that was actually the idea, and I never thought it would work out like it would, but lucky me, it did.
Okay. And now, I mean, I didn't want to leave this occasion to point out that you have your own jersey on the back, which is pretty cool,
Yep.
right?
There's two right there, and there's another two hanging right there.
For you, which one is the greatest memory that you have on a football field?
German Bull 13. Sorry, Dresden Monarchs, whoever watches, but German Bull 13. We were up 35-34, so at one point, Dresden had the ball in our own half. Like, I think it was a minute left, something like that. They were in our own half. They had a running back that had, like, I think 55 touchdowns this year. I don't know. He was going crazy. They just ran the ball. We're in field goal range already. Had another. Then they took a timeout, and we had one of our guys, Emmett Christian Petersen. He came. Somebody has to make a freaking play. Then this play came. The fullback came. A huge ass gap opened right in front of me. I
Yeah.
cut the fullback, and then I just heard behind me, "Pop," and everybody was, "Oh!" Dude fumbled the ball. We recovered it and won our first German Bowl.
Wow.
That's actually the greatest memory, and it's that jersey right
Oh,
there.
there you go. That one.
It's that right there.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool. That's
Yep,
pretty. I
that
mean,
was actually. Yep.
and you recall the play like second by second. It's like it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of, but there's not a lot of plays that I remember like this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course. Of course.
But
I
there
mean, I
are
can
some plays that are just lasting. That was like a huge moment for everybody. And after that, I mean, like we really started off our dynasty we had there. With like we won from 13 till 19. I think we had a championship every year, at least one. So we were pretty damn good.
And now, for I mean, for those moments that you live as a coach and as a player, expectations for the Berlin Rebels this year?
Expect youth for my
Yeah.
youth expectation is definitely to move up to GFL juniors. Right now we're on a path. We will start our season. We're in the second division. We have three games, preseason games against GFL juniors teams already. So the guys already feel the level we want to get on, and I'm pretty confident that we will not get like shot out, but we will be pretty competitive. And then we will have our season, and the goal is to move up to GFL Juniors, be GFL Juniors next year, which is the highest division year, and be the only Berlin team in the GFL Juniors, because right now there's no team from Berlin in the first division. So we have to put Berlin back on the map.
Yep, true. And for the seniors, like the
For the
season for the
seniors,
seniors.
definitely playoffs. Definitely
Okay.
playoffs, and then after the playoffs, I mean, like, especially on the men's level, whoever knows me, I always go into a season, I want to win a championship. I'm never cool with second place. So we're in there to win it. I even was that way with the Thunder, even though we know how hard it would be in those first 2 years to really win something. My approach is always the sun. My approach is always to win. To win and to win the championship, and I believe if everybody believes in the system, believes in the program, and locks in and puts everything in, you will be successful. So, yeah, I have high beliefs. Our sport director, Doran, who is also just got announced as the assistant head coach for the men's national team, he really helped put a lot of guys together. Our head coach, Doug, is a great recruiter. Yeah, I think we really have a great team this year, both on the youth and in the men's level. Yeah, I mean, the AJ signing is
Yeah, yeah, true. It's
I
a big
think
one.
that shocked a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, AJ, I know AJ. Coach Pope was here working with me in the youth and in the men's as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's a lot of connections, a lot of good coaching, and we just now put the team together. They will be successful eventually.
Okay. Amazing. I mean, Coach, we wish you all the best for this season, like for both, like the youth team and the seniors team.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your time, for your inspiration, for your words, because it was truly amazing to know more about you and to know more about your journey and your path so far. Okay, so thank you for everything.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said before we talked, it's my first podcast. So thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. Okay, so see you around, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.